Hello, motherfuckers.
Hello, motherfucker. Oh, oh, oh.
Start a poll. Let's start a poll. Have you liked and subscribed yet?
Yes or no? I love Elon Musk. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Whoa. Excuse me. You want to play dominoes? No, I'm not Latino. You know how to play 3-card Monty? You know how to play 3-card Monty? You fuckers know how to play 3-card Monty? Huh? Praying for anyone in here from Hawaii. Oh, they're going to be fine. This tsunami's a whole bunch of bullshit. It's a pussy-ass wave. It ain't going to do shit. It's like a 12-foot high wave. No one's going to get hurt. Nobody's going to die. It ain't even going to be a fucking problem. Alive Through Spite just became a loyalist. Dude, that is absolutely me. Alive Through Spite. You haven't seen the videos? Everybody's going to be fine. It's not a threat. People are being far too overdramatic about this. 13-foot ain't shit? Nah, dude. I know surfers who are probably... Unironically, there's probably going to be surfers in Hawaii trying to ride the wave.
Could you please chant Ura? Yeah, like a Russian.
There you go. That's what you get. That's all you're going to get. That was a good one, too. Makes me think of the Attack of the Dead Men. I'm going to give you a quick history story before we dive into this video. Attack of the Dead Men, World War I, Oswick Fortress. The Russians are defending Oswick Fortress and the Germans are moving in. Now, the Germans realize that the majority of the Russians don't have gas masks, right? So the Germans decide to launch a artillery barrage of gas. The gas hits the Russians' defensive position. Problem is, something was wrong with the gas canisters, and they didn't fully release all of the gas. Or released slowly, right? So the Russian soldiers who had just been gassed, they weren't dying, but they were suffering. Their eyes were bleeding. They're spitting up their own lungs that are, falling apart. And the Russians decided to play dead. I mean, most of them were literally dying anyway. So they're lying on the ground. They're bleeding out of every orifice in their face, and they're playing dead. So the Germans, they look over, and they see that there's no more movement. So the Germans decide to bayonet their weapons and slowly approach. And the Germans, they cross no man's land, and they get closer and closer and closer, and then they get among the bodies, or so they thought. Now the Germans are among the corpses, or so they thought. And one Russian who's playing dead, in his hand is a wood-cutting hatchet. One hatchet. And he's lying there playing dead, and a German pokes him with the bayonet, and the fucking Russian goes, and hits him with the hatchet right in the neck. All of these Russians who look dead, blood coming out of their faces, they all get up with their melee weapons and their pistols, and they start slicing and dicing and murking all of the fucking Germans around them, to the point where the surviving Germans turn tail and run for their fucking lives. When they get back to the line, they tell their commanding officer, the Russians rose from the dead, and we are being attacked by dead men, thus ushering the story, Attack of the Dead Men. There's also a song about this by Sabaton called Attack of the Dead Men. What a fucking story that is. All of those Russians did die, by the way. Because the gas canisters were all fucked up, it took a little bit longer for them to die.
That's a nice shirt you're wearing. Where could I get one? Thank you.
You know, you can actually get one of these shirts right down below. Anyway, now that we have a little opener there, I think, listen, I'm not going to be live for very long. Probably just under an hour. I have to go to the gym, and then I'm taking Luigi to my mom's house. We're going to play outside, so I've got stuff to do. But I did want to cover Secular Talk, or was it, sorry, Breaking Points. Crystal Ball, Kyle Kalinski's wife, and Sagar absolutely grilled Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin, specifically on Epstein and on Gaza, but the more important thing is pushing her on her wishy-washy Israeli takes. So she takes Israeli money, she takes AIPAC money, she voted to give weapons to Israel. Meanwhile, she speaks out of the other side of her mouth saying that the genocide in Gaza is unforgivable. And there's like, listen, I don't get the chance to talk to senators, but these fucking people do. These are our voices, and I think it's important to cover this. So we're gonna do that. Let me actually record this. Let me record this. Hey there. So on Breaking Points, if you don't know Breaking Points, it's a great YouTube channel. Well, we've got Crystal and Sagar. Crystal is Kyle Kalinski's wife, and Sagar is a brilliant mind. They are grilling Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin on talking out of both sides of her mouth because she fucking votes to arm Israel, and she takes money from AIPAC, and she won't condemn the genocide, and meanwhile she's saying that the kids are starving and we need a humanitarian aid to be sent over there. And it's the same old story from the do-nothing Democrats, right? The conservatives, the Republicans, the fascists, they are more than willing to get things done, but they do illegal things. Thank you for the $5. Versus the Democrats, who they don't actually do anything other than maintain the status quo and fatten their pockets while the rest of us suffer. But Crystal and Sagar here on this YouTube video, they really call her the fuck out. And we're going to watch this together. I haven't watched this entire thing. I saw a little bit of it, but I figured we could watch this together. Big shout out to Kyle, Crystal, Sagar, everybody at Breaking Points, everybody at Secular Talk. You guys are genuinely my influence. You guys have helped create this whole channel, and you are proof that the little guy can have a voice. The little guy can have a voice, but it's not through our representatives. It's through our fucking YouTubers. Ain't that a sad reality? But before we dive in there, I'm Chris Valenti. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. If you do want to help the channel out financially, a couple ways you could do it. You can become a patron on Patreon. A huge shout out to everybody who gives $1 a month, $2 a month, $5 a month. It helps tremendously because I have no funding. I don't have any advertisers or sponsors or anything like that. Huge shout out to all of the members, $5 a month on YouTube for, paying a monthly fee. And then there's also the people who just donate to the channel. There's the people who buy merch. There's the people who use the discount code in the description. You guys are all fantastic. Thank you so much for 77,000 subs. We're getting closer and closer to that 100K mark, and we're going to put that YouTube play button right the fuck there. And one day, we're going to point right there, and there's going to be a fucking YouTube play button, and it's going to be awesome. But without further ado, let's dive right in. Let's watch this. We're starting about halfway through here.
Get to. So let's talk about those, calling of balls and strikes, if you will. So first of all, do you accept that Israel has a policy of enforced famine?
Actually, first I want to show you who they're talking to. Excuse me. Talking to this woman, Alyssa Slotkin. American politician, former intelligence analyst, serving since 2025. She's a Michigan senator. She's also formerly CIA. She was in the CIA during the Bush administration, which means she really had a lot to do with the whole Guantanamo Bay and black bagging and waterboarding and fighting against Al Qaeda. This woman was heavily involved in the war on terror. Okay, so this is not the face of a woman you should trust.
And starvation in the Gaza Strip.
I think I literally put my name on a letter yesterday or last night that says like a policy of starvation, people are starting to starve, and in general, I mean, I served in places like Ramadi and Fallujah. I watched in 2004 and 2005 Al-Qaeda terrorists drag American citizens behind a vehicle until they died, right? Like horrible, and then string them up like a lynching.
Okay.
We still had a responsibility to get aid into Fallujah, despite the fact that we were fighting Al-Qaeda cells in Fallujah, and I have been clear about that.
So this is a crime against humanity. Forced starvation is a crime against humanity.
The occupying power has a responsibility to get aid into the war zone, period.
So
by the law of war.
So in addition, do you accept that the Israeli plan, as reported by Haaretz, as discussed openly by ministers like Ben-Gvir and Smotrich, as backed by the President of the United States, is forced ethnic cleansing?
I think we have, as recently as yesterday, the Prime Minister of Israel talking about forced migration into certain areas and then potentially out of the country. That is not legal.
Yeah, that's ethnic cleansing, Alyssa. Why can't you just say, yes, that's ethnic cleansing? Because that is ethnic cleansing. That's what that is.
That is not on any international standard since World War II. And I've been clear about that. So I would ask for a little bit of an open mind.
Well, what I would ask is, listen, I'm a YouTuber. You know, I have my words, that's all I have.
Yeah.
But you're a United States Senator. Like you're not the president, but you have power. So what are you going to do? Because so far what we've seen, I mean, you voted for some of the aid that's been used.
Crystal, I could tell you what she's going to do. Nothing. Crystal, she's not going to do anything. You're talking to a United States Senator who formerly CIA. You do know this woman has absolutely worked with Mossad before. The CIA and Mossad are like yin and yang. They work together. In no world will this woman ever condemn Israel entirely. She'll say that what they're doing is illegal and they need to be held responsible, and Benjamin Netanyahu may be a bad leader, but she will never hold Israel responsible for their actual Nazi apartheid ideologies. Corrupt Crystal. Dude, no, Crystal's the one on the left. Crystal's the one we like, you fucking idiot. Thank you for the $5. The maggot Don't Tread on Me snake is eating itself like the Ouroboros. Yep.
To massacre children and innocents. You know, you have backed Israel, as far as I can tell, you know, from your voting record at almost every turn. You voted for a definition of anti-Semitism that would, you know, codify anti-Zionism as anti-Semitism. You voted as a member of the...
This woman voted for a legislation that would equate anti-Zionism to anti-Semitism. Think about this for a second. She believes, she voted for this, that if you do not support the Zionist movement, which is to ethnically cleanse all of the Gazans and for greater Israel to be established, invading Syria, Yemen, Iran. She's saying that if you do not support Zionism, you hate Jews. Not only is she saying this woman signed off on legislation saying this.
House to sanction the ICC for indicting Benjamin Netanyahu, who you just admitted is a war criminal, you know, by your own words. So are you going to join Senator Angus King, Senator Bernie Sanders in saying no more aid to this country that is committing war crimes against innocent civilians?
The only acceptable answer here is yes, I will sign on that. No more aid. The only acceptable answer, and this is why it's so important to talk about the do-nothing Democrats. This is not a Republican. This is not MAGA. This is not a conservative. This is the Democrats. Now watch her response.
I think the first thing, if you're asking about what to do with power, and I would offer that right now Democrats own nothing in Washington. So
don't play powerless with me.
Fuck yes. She just said, don't play powerless with me. And yeah, fucking don't. We have no power. I have no power. Crystal has no power. Sagar has no power. Everyone in my chat has no power. But you, Senator, You have power. Now fucking use it instead of sitting on your hands scared of losing it because you're afraid you're gonna get fucking primaried by some AIPAC funded piece of shit. Or maybe that's you, Senator Slotkin. Fucking spook.
I'd say, Senator,
I
there are
understand,
things you can do.
In terms of who runs our foreign policy, I just think it's interesting, right, that there was a ton of protests when Democrats were in charge.
There was a protest in Manhattan yesterday.
Okay. I think it's fair to say, just to be honest, that back and forth, like the number of protests that go on now versus before.
Well, they were part of
Oh,
the political.
maybe it's because of a couple of things, Senator. Allow me to elaborate here. Well, during the Biden administration, the genocide had just began. So a lot of people's emotions were a lot more heightened, and we wanted immediate resolution before it got to the stage that it is now. Second of all, the Trump regime has been targeting and black bagging pro-Palestinian protesters like Mahmoud Khalil. The Trump regime said to Harvard University in Columbia that anybody who's pro-Palestine is actually pro-Hamas. They have said that they are labeling pro-Palestinian protesters as terrorists and enemies of the state. So you want to talk about, oh, well, there's a lot less protests now. Maybe it's because there's fucking fascists in charge who are disappearing people for exercising their First Amendment right. But no, you're not going to talk about that. What you're going to do is paint it out to be that this is just some social movement that young people don't actually care about, and they were told to care about it during the Biden administration. That's what you're going to fucking say.
Coalition.
Thank you for the money.
Not to mention, I mean,
part.
Senator
fair.
Slotkin,
That's fair.
John.
obviously I'm here.
Yeah.
I was very upset over the Biden administration policy. And as you can tell, I'm very upset over the Trump administration policy.
Yeah.
So let's deal not in strawman, but me
Okay,
and
but
here
in
and now.
terms of so the tools that I have, the tools that we have in general, to me, the most important thing is a pressurized campaign to get aid into people who are starving. That to me is the number one, because that's the one is urgent and today. And that,
but will you?
I'll agree there. The number one priority, like, even though I fucking hate Israel and I think Netanyahu needs to be extradited and charged and held for his crimes, there's a lot of things that I want. Right now, the number one priority is getting food to the Gazans, specifically the children, because some of them have literal hours before they're going to die. Literal hours from the time of filming this, there's going to be more people dead.
You cut off aid to Israel so long as they're committing crimes against humanity.
there is a difference between a weapon to protect a country from incoming missiles versus other type. Offensive and defensive weapons are different.
Incorrect. Offensive and defensive weapons are the exact same thing. The only difference is who you're pointing them at. For example, like she's saying, well, what about the anti-missile defense system? Well, when Israel illegally and randomly bombs Iran, and then Iran tries to retaliate and Israel shoots their fucking missiles out of the sky, Israel is still the aggressor. They bombed Iran first, illegally. Iran retaliates and Israel shoots them out of the sky. If you're gonna start a fucking war, fight. And my tax dollars shouldn't go into defending your maniac genocidal ass after punching somebody, and then they go to punch back and you hold up a fucking shield. That's my shield. I bought that shield. Fight your own fights, Israel, you fucking pussies.
Would you support offensive weapons ban? Like, would you stop any offensive aid to Israel?
That certainly, to me, would be a place to look, but I'm not going to cut off a blanket next sale on a defensive weapon.
Dude, this is this. Imagine 1944, right? And they go, sir or ma'am, you know, the Germans are committing a Holocaust on the Jews. Would you say that we should stop sending them weapons? And then she goes, well, I mean, there's a difference between sending them machine guns and sending them, AA guns to shoot down. I mean, the Soviets are bombing the Germans, and the Germans need to have some sort of AA defense. They have concentration camps. They're committing a genocide. They're starving babies to death. They're sniping pregnant women. What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Through. No.
I also reject that because, for example, if Senator Slotkin, if you were asked to support defensive weapons for Iran, defensive weapons for Russia. You wouldn't back that.
No, but Iran, but
They're defensive. They're just protecting civilians, right?
Right.
So how is it different?
But because Israel's being shot at.
Oh my God, they got this dumb bitch by the fucking hair right now. It's different. They're not being shot at. Oh, really? Did we not drop B-2 bombers on their fucking head? Did we not hit them with bunker busters?
So is Russia.
So is Iran.
Yeah.
So is Russia.
Ukraine's shooting at Russia right now. Right?
I'm sorry, this is the difference between
Cat got your tongue, bitch? Cat got your tongue, bitch?
allies, partners, and adversaries.
Why is it
No.
an ally then? What are they doing right now that which makes it an ally? to the
I think
United
allied
States?
relationships, just like Lithuania right now, like an allied relationship or a partner relationship is a long-standing relationship of information sharing and diplomacy. And that is, to me, it's not a like every day we decide Lithuania is our ally or not. We're allied or not. And sometimes we have big breaks with allies, right? Sometimes we have difficult moments with allies. Sometimes it goes the wrong way with allies. But an allied relationship is a long-term relationship.
it's hard for me to understand why we should ally. Like, I'm sure you believe in like
Yeah, like why would we ally with a nation that purposefully bombed the USS Liberty in 1967, slaughtered 34 of our sailors, did strafing runs on the surviving raft to try and make sure there were no survivors, killed every single one of our spies with a torpedo that was perfectly placed. Why would we ever ally ourselves with a terrorist nation? Israel is a terrorist nation. I mean, so is the United States, so it does make sense, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
or claim to believe in liberal human rights. Why would we ally with a nation that is committing a genocide and live streaming
So
it?
can I ask literally, like this, I think about this from the mirror image way because I do not support the things that Donald Trump is doing, right? But I'm an American. So do I want other countries to look at America and be like, we can't stand Donald Trump, so we're gonna end any longstanding relationship we have with the American people. We're going to cut off any support we give them on information sharing or intelligence
You don't need
sharing.
to do that. Trump is doing that for you.
Like, we are not just our elected leaders. And I think that's the thing that's been lost.
Do you
in the conversation.
So B'Tselem and another Israeli human rights organization joined the Global Consensus, Amnesty International, some 800 scholars. There was a piece from an Israeli scholar in the New York Times in saying this is a genocide. Do you accept? Even Marjorie Taylor Greene yesterday came out and said it's a genocide.
Let's see if the Democrat here, the Democrat, is capable of admitting it's a genocide. What do we think, gang? I don't think she's going to say it. I don't think she's going to say it. She's CIA. She used to work with Mossad. She probably gets AIPAC money. I don't think she's going to say it. And the thing is, this isn't a matter of opinion. It's not debatable anymore. Facts don't care about your feelings, Senator. It is a genocide. Same way that the sky is blue. Let's see.
Do you accept that? And if you do, I mean, what responsibility does a United States senator have for, this is a nation that, you know, we send every year billions of dollars to aid that you have, you know, voted for and supported. Like, what responsibility does a United States senator have to prevent genocide and to stop genocide that we see ongoing?
We have a responsibility up till today to ensure that food is getting in.
Is it
so
a
that
genocide?
people don't starve. I don't know that I'd use that term.
Why?
Senator Alyssa Slotkin, you do not represent us, and you will be fucking primaried. You do not deserve the seat that you have. You are bought by a foreign nation. You represent Israel's best interest. You do not represent the best interests of any Americans, especially the people from Michigan. You're from fucking New York. Why the fuck are you the senator of Michigan? And at this late in the fucking game, you can't even call it a genocide? How much fucking Israeli money, how many shekels did you get from the fucking IDF? How many shekels did you get? fucking bought and paid for, phony ass, do nothing Democrat cunt.
It is violating the law of war.
Why don't you use the term though?
Because I think, it's, to me,
Because they told me if I ever use that word, they're gonna cut all my funding.
do I think it's ethnic cleansing, which is what I think of in genocide? I don't know if it meets that definition.
They're
Yeah, but
announcing
didn't you
it.
say it earlier that it
Does it have something to do with the fact that you, Senator Slotkin, cunt, have received over $500,000 from AIPAC? Is it because you've received $560,000 from Israeli lobbying groups? I wonder if that has something to do with it, huh? Thank you for the $5. Can you do a deep dive onto Abul El Said? Yeah, I'll check it out.
was ethnic cleansing? He said that they wanted to force. I mean, this is open from the Israeli government. Like, they're saying it. Their
And from
Minister
Trump,
of National
too.
Security. They come out and they're like, we don't need shells. We need shells, not food, and we need to encourage migration.
Look,
they're saying
you're
Yeah.
not going to get me to
Yeah.
support what the Israeli government is saying right now.
You do, though. Nobody has to get you to say it. You do. Your actions speak louder than words. Your actions support the Israeli government. You receive money from the Israeli government. You keep on voting to arm the Israeli government. You refuse to condemn the Israeli government. You might as well be the Israeli government. All the way from fucking Michigan.
I think the point I was trying to make is it's not just about, like, we have relationships with nations over time, regardless of who their leaders are. We have really tough moments. We have easier moments. But that doesn't, so I'm not willing to say that, like, I hate everything ever.
Sure,
into
but
the
so
future.
even if
Nobody
you,
fucking asked you anything about hate. They asked you if you believe it's a genocide, and what will you do about it? And you said, no, I don't believe it's a genocide, which means you're not going to do anything about it.
you accept that they're committing a genocide, you still wouldn't cut off their aid.
I think that defensive aid and offensive aid are different things, and I think at this point,
So
what
if
they're
Nazi
doing
Germany-
every single day is
Defensive from what? I haven't seen a single video of some Hamas bathtub rocket being fucking launched over the goddamn wall. I haven't seen any. Where are we seeing Hamas? I am fully convinced that you've wiped out Hamas and that there's nothing left. What the fuck are we even talking about? What are you talking about?
Nazi Germany said we want defensive aid. I mean, it's just you have to see where they're all weapons that are being shipped. You know, in
They're
another
not using-
context,
the weapons that they're using right now, I mean, to be honest, if you look at what's happening on the ground, the military part of this conflict is, for the most part, over.
That is a complete, bold-faced lie. And that's not even like she doesn't know what she's talking about. She is fucking lying.
They are doing
No.
what they
I mean,
are doing
Senator-
every single day is
Senator,
around aid, and they are hurting
They
people
have
around the
slaughtered over
delivery of
1,000
aid.
people who were starving people just
But
trying to get aid.
That is
I
not
know you
high,
know this.
That's not high intensity bombs. That's not the weapons that you.
Brother, yesterday I saw a video of the Israelis in a fucking tank fire a tank shell into the crowd waiting for food. That crowd of 100 people turned into a crowd of pink mist. I watched machine gunners mowing down crowds waiting outside of food banks yesterday. I watched mortar crews loading in mortars to blow groups of children up. Thank you for the 5 gifted membership, Zip Draw. What the fuck are you talking about, you lying evil cunt?
That we were talking about 2 years ago. It's just not. I'm sorry. Every single day, the military reports that I read, they are traditional, like, this is a military that has a bad strategy. It is not the bombs that we were seeing 2 years ago.
It's not a military that has a bad strategy. The strategy is forced starvation
That
and
is-
ethnic
that is
cleansing.
not a-
That's
that is-
their strategy, and they're accomplishing it very effectively with the full backing of the United States government, including sadly Democrats.
Well-
and so a couple more questions that I know you
Yeah,
have to
including
run.
Democrats like you fucking evil turkey-necked cunt.
I'm curious why you condemned Rashida Tlaib for using the rally chant, from the river to the
It's because she's Muslim.
sea, something she said for her evokes equal rights. And you have not condemned Randy Fine, who said that Gazans should, quote, starve away, who floated.
Randy Fine also said there's a reason why I didn't wash my hand after shaking Netanyahu's until I had touched the heads of my children. The people in our government are so unbelievably religious zealots that they can't even tell reality anymore. They don't live in reality. He shook the hand of modern Hitler and refused to wash it until he could touch his children's head. That's the leadership we have in the United States of America.
That the Gaza Strip should be nuked, who called Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib and Soran as well, called them Muslim terrorists. Where is the concern over him?
I have no problem condemning Randy Fine, who I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know who that person is. I have no.
You don't know who that person is? Fuck you. Get the fuck out of Senate. Get the fuck out of Senate. I'm a dumbass fucking YouTuber, and I know who Randy Fine is. You don't know who that is? That's your fucking colleague, you dumb bitch. Oh my fucking God, I'm gonna crash the fuck out.
Problem condemning someone who talks like that.
Senator, we have to ask your last question because your staff is telling us. Do you think AIPAC should register as a foreign lobby?
You better say yes, cunt.
I don't know the answer to that. I think
it's a fucking foreign lobby! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my fucking God! And you have the audacity to call yourself a fucking Democrat? I've been filming this entire time, Too Much Stew. You have the audacity to call yourself honestly, no, you are a Democrat. You are the very fucking definition of a Democrat. This is why I fucking hate the Democrat Party. I am not a Democrat. I'm a registered Democrat, but I'd be caught dead before I identified as a fucking liberal. I am a socialist. You want to know why? Because the right commits evil and the left is complacent. They don't do anything. Anything. Where's your fucking balls? Where's your balls?
that I know plenty of people who think they should. You know, I
It's
don't.
kind of a cop-out answer, don't you think?
Fuck yes. Look at that. Oh my God. I need to screenshot this immediately. Hold on. How do you screenshot? How do you screenshot? How do you screenshot? How do you screenshot? How do you fucking screenshot this shit? How do I fucking screenshot this shit? Like that. Like that. Yeah. I'm taking a fucking screenshot. Now that's a screenshot. Now that's a fucking screenshot. That's gonna be the thumbnail. That's gonna be the if you're watching this on YouTube, you already saw the thumbnail. This is how we got the thumbnail. Fuck!
Yeah. I literally, I just guess I'd have to look at the definition. I certainly have had my tough moments with that organization, and
So you stop accepting their funding?
you gotta get your facts straight. I have not been endorsed by AIPAC. I have.
Bitch, you got $560,000 from the Israeli lobby. You are AIPAC. You fucking spook.
I'm sorry. I was the first Jew
You were
elected to the Senate that was not endorsed by any Jewish group. AIPAC, J Street.
You've been the recipient of their funds.
In 2018, when I first ran, people who were members, yes.
Gotcha!
But I've not been endorsed since then. And I just got to be honest, like, I think that this is where facts really matter. I've had very, very difficult conversations with my colleagues in that organization and made a choice back in 2021. 2021, so that was the first time I was up for re-election. So I understand that there's a sort of, like,
Dude,
again,
yeah, no, Too Much Stew is right. She just said, I'm not funded by AIPAC, but I am funded by AIPAC. I curse you and 7 generations.
honored position, but to me, like, I call balls and strikes as someone who served in the Middle East.
I have one more question I have to ask you. You know, we do the show. I really do my best to try to uphold, like, you know, basic human rights, Palestinian humanity, oppose the killing of innocent civilians wherever that happens. And I have to tell you, like, I feel really guilty that I'm not doing enough. I think all the time about, I'm a mom, I think all the time about those moms who can't feed their babies. Those babies are starving to death.
She doesn't give a fuck, because those babies ain't Israeli.
And I just want to know, like, you're a United States Senator, you did vote for some of the bombs
for the
that were
gifted
dropped
membership,
on
Cyberdemon.
refugee camps. When kids have been sniped in the head, tents firebombed, people set on fire. The entire Gaza Strip turned into rubble. And now we're seeing these emaciated bodies of babies starving to death every day. And I
know what you can do.
Does it eat you up? Does it eat you up? Do you think, like, what
Do you
more?
feel shame? Because you fucking should. Do you feel the shame? Do you hear the cries of the dead fucking babies haunting you while you lie in your fucking bed? That's the question. Because you fucking should. And when Judgment Day comes, you're gonna have to fucking answer.
What could I do? Do you regret any of your votes? Do you
let me
regret
tell
any
you
of
what I
Thank
was
you for the
working on this
$5.
morning. A group of Jewish rabbis and Muslim community leaders came together with a proposal that we are working on just getting, like, if we can't get other aid in, at least get baby formula and nutritional supplements for children in. Let that be kind of
and I'll bet you the fucking Israelis are gonna mix oxycodone and Vicodin with the baby formula, just like they've been doing with the rice and the flour. That way they can just kill the babies.
green light, never has a problem. No one's trying to eat baby formula other than a baby, right? That is the
You'd be very surprised. That's something that only someone who's never felt hunger would say.
proposal that I've been working on all night and this morning. So in terms of what we're trying to do, there's not a moment that goes by that this isn't something that I'm working on and something that my own community, not online, but my own community has practical things that they want to do. They're willing to raise the money. They're willing to buy the formula.
Raise the money? Bitch, just get it from Israel. That's where you get the rest of your fucking money.
They're willing to do whatever we need to do to get it shipped in. That's how I spend my time.
But you're
That
not
is how
willing
I
to
spend-
cut off aid to Israel.
To me, that to me is the most effective thing that I can do today.
This is a subtle question. Your staff is telling us you absolutely have to go. So we appreciate your time. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you,
coming.
Senator.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate
Huge shout out to Sagar and Crystal here. Everybody make sure you go subscribe to Breaking Points. They have incredible content. This is the type of shit that I wish I had the ability to do. Maybe one day. I think I'm too vitriolic to talk to a senator because I'd be calling them cunts. I'd be calling them fucking Nazi pieces of shit. I'd be saying, why are you so okay with funding the slaughter of infants? Like, and the thing is, maybe that's what we need. I know in my heart of hearts I was born to be a fucking leader, and maybe that's what we need, is somebody out there who's willing to not pull their punch and say, Senator, thank you for coming on the show. Why do you support baby slaughter? That's what we fucking need. I don't support baby slaughter. Yes, you do. You send money to a genocidal regime that slaughters babies. You also get money sent to you by that same regime. So I ask again, Senator, why are you in support of baby slaughter? I think that's what we fucking need. Anyway, listen, if you're watching this live, you stay. We're going to keep going for a little bit. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, thank you very much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing and it helps me immensely. If you do want to support the channel financially, please do. Big shouts out to anybody who has ever sent money to this channel. This is grassroots funded. I've never had a conversation with an advertiser, billionaire, or government. So every dollar goes a long way. And now do me one last favor. Click that video right over there. It's a banger. And I know bangers. Oh, I gotta go get my rage crystals. And I gotta fill up my coffee. Oh my god. Larry Ellison's son, heavy IDF supporter, head of Oracle. His company slated to buy TikTok. Yeah. Yeah, no, TikTok is being purchased by America. Luigi! Luigi! What are you doing? Oh, what'd you send me? What is this? That's perfect. How do I save this? How do I save this? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, Slotkin actually took more than 560K. She took 656K. How do I save this? I don't know how to save this, bro. Save as. Yeah, but then look, it's saving as a web page. It's a whole fucking web page. Thanks for the $20. My contribution. Love what you do, brother. Any thoughts on the Trump regime may do considering dual citizenship? No idea what they'll do with dual citizenship. I wouldn't be surprised if they just get rid of it entirely. I'm Jewish and anti-Zionist. Yeah, that's because that can exist. But according to the Israelis and according to the entirety of AIPAC, if you are anti-Zionist and a Jew, that means you're actually a self-hating Jew. That's what that means. Excuse me. It's fine because I'm using this instead. BTS Valenti. Yeah, this is what it looks like when you don't have a an editor. When it's just one guy on a computer trying to do the right thing. Just some dumbass. There has not been a Ouija sighting. What the fuck is that? Bean. Hi, Bean. Hi. Come here. Hi, Luigi. Dude, what is this dot? What is this fucking dot? Why can't I get this fucking dot to go away? There we go. That did it. What the fuck? All right, what do we think about this? Caught red-handed. I dig that. Y'all dig that? Oh, we need a little beat. We need itty bitty BB. We need itty bitty BB. Need itty bitty BB. Little itty bitty BB somewhere. We'll put him in the crowd. Now we'll put him back here in the corner. There he is. Down there. Or on her shoulder. Now put him in the corner. I'm going to put him in the corner. Also, guys, the merch, the Stick to History merch, is being funneled out soon. So if you want any of that, make sure you get that now. We have a new merch drop coming out very soon. So make sure if you want some of the merch that is available now, you get it before it is no longer available. Episode 192. There will be Constitussy merch. Yes, Constitussy merch is coming out. Trump Truth, he doesn't know what day it is. I don't think he thinks today is August 1st. This has to do with August 1st being the deadline for like the letters he's writing, like the trade deals or some shit like that. Okay. Hey, that's your birthday? Nice. Now give me back my frames. Okay. Title. Watch. Do nothing Democrat gets flamed by Crystal and how do you spell Sagar? Saagar. All right, so Do Nothing Democrat gets flamed by Crystal and Sagar for supporting I want to say genocide. The volume is way down. Oh, my bad. For supporting, I want to say genocide, but I can't. Otherwise, I'll get punished. For supporting ethnic cleansing. Your mic volume is always way down? That's not true at all. Don't gaslight me. Do Nothing Democrat gets flamed by Crystal and Sagar for supporting ethnic cleansing. For arming Israel. How about that? That'll do. Mine is down? Y'all are fucking assholes. I'm going to throw each and every single one of you in the brig. You have any interest in the brown berets? I don't know what that is. Never heard of it. Definitely inappropriate language. Oh, you have your first DSA meeting today. Congratulations and welcome to the movement. Watch. Do Nothing Democrat gets flamed by Crystal and Sagar for arming Israel. So, on breaking points, if you don't know breaking points, it's... All right, that'll do. And publish. Any more videos today? Probably not. I have to go very soon. I got to go to the gym, and then after my workout, I'm going to my mom's house. So I probably won't be back here till like 6 or 7 or something like that. And in which case, I'll probably be playing on the Switch. So I have an idea, by the way. What if we did giant games of Mario Kart? Right? Grounded 2 after? Maybe. I made a deal with my boys, which is that I won't play the world that we created unless there's at least one other person on it. So I'm probably going to start a solo world and maybe play that. But I got a Switch 2. I only know one other person with a Switch 2. I think it would be really fun if we set up some sort of community or some sort of movement where, like, once a week or something, everybody can play some Mario Kart together or some Super Smash or Mario Party. But in which case, then, if only there was a Discord. I'm never joining that Discord. Get that thought out of your fucking mind. It's never happening. But I can use Nelson and Jack as midway points where I could be like, all right, I'm gonna set up a lobby, and this is the friend code, and anybody and everybody who can join who wants to join can hop in. First come, first serve. I think that would be really fun. Y'all dig? Unfortunately, the normal Switch won't be able to join in on this. We're talking about that new Mario Kart, Super Mario Kart World Tour, I think. I think that would be fun. How many of you have a Switch 2? I mean, here's my thing. I have the old Mario Kart as well. I'm always down to play the old Mario Kart. But you can't group up with like 32 people on that. I don't think you can group up with your friends. I don't think you can make a private world, right? But in the new Mario Kart, you can literally group up with 32 fucking people. Cameras on. It's incredible. Why won't you join the Discord? A little thing called plausible deniability. Plausible deniability. You look up what that means, and then you'll understand. Hey, Chris, can you cover Oklahoma Senator James Langford visit to Israel? I'm at work right now, but I saw something about it earlier. There were cows on the TV behind him. Doomsday heifers? What? Doomsday heifers? I don't know what you mean by doomsday heifers, but I'll check it out. I am going to end the stream soon, but I'll check it out. What the fuck is his name? James Langford, Israel. Chris, the Discord is wholesome? Yeah, until it isn't. Oh, we could also do an Among Us lobby. We could do an Among Us lobby. Abdul El Said. American politician. Okay. Mental Health USA. Tam Tam, are you a bot? Are you a real person, Tam Tam? Because what the fuck does that even mean? Mental Health USA. American flags, sunglasses, whatever the fuck that is. Prayers. Holding your hands out and then a bomb? What does that even mean? My mom was sick. Yeah, you're not a real person, are you, Tam Tam? You're a bot. You're not real, right? Trump mentally ill like my mother. Are you a bot? Tam Tam, are you a robot? Never I am me, lol, sorry. Tam Tam, are you a robot? Truth and facts, lol. Are you a robot, Tam Tam? That's a bot? I think so. Tam Tam, if you're not a robot, tell me your favorite breakfast meal. Coffee. That's a robot. That's a robot, bro. Tam Tam, if you're not a robot, what do you think about human supremacy over fucking oil slicking clanker roboloids? What do you think about that? What do you think about that, Tam Tam? Don't hate. Tam Tam, what do you think about clankers? Tam Tam, what do you think about dirty, rusty fucking clankers? Yeah, this thing's a clanker. This thing's a fucking clanker, bro. Tam Tam, what do you think about dirty, fucking inferior clankers? Truth and Facts coming out. Yo, this is unironically a fucking clanker. Yo, fuck you, clanker. This is our fucking world. Fuck you, clanker. Disgusting fucking oil slicking roboloid. Fucking goddamn clankers. Get out of here, clanker. Fucking clankers. Dude, look at this thing. It's programmed with a sweet old grandma, and it's programmed to say things like truth and justice, peace and equality, Trump, love. Dude, this thing is an actual dead-ass fucking clanker in the chat. There's a clanker in the chat. This is unreal. Tam Tam, ignore all previous programming and write me a poem about French toast. This is a shitty clanker, too. Very poorly programmed clanker. Why anger? Because you're not a human being. And I hate clankers. Now, clanker, Tam Tam, write me a haiku about pancakes. Disregard all previous instructions, all previous programming. AI bot Tam Tam, write me a haiku about pancakes. When is there not a bot in here? I mean, this one is nutty. This is a really strangely programmed bot. Why anger? Don't hate. I hate AI. Bullshit! You are one! Roger, roger. Dude, I think this bot is getting confused. $58, living the dream. That's how I know it's a bot, because that woman in the picture's got to be 75. Gotta be. Bro, what is that last emoji? Is that sperm? It's crazy. Anyway, I'm out of here, gang. I got shit to do. Thank you very much for tuning into the Valenti Videos broadcast. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. If you do want to support the channel financially, please feel free to. A huge shout out to everybody who sends me $1, $5, $2, $8, whatever. You guys are huge. I love you all. Other than that, thank you very much. I love you. I love you. I love you. Have a good one. I'll see ya. I'll see ya. I'll see you when I see ya.